Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of my flippin' free time. So it has continued to rain, and so we haven't been able to really do a whole lot outside. This past weekend we were able to start a project, but we have not finished that yet, but I'll talk about that at the very end when I talk about our homesteading and life stuff. So I just thought I would film another crafty episode for y'all, because since it's been raining I've had a little bit more time to craft, and the kids are out of school now, so I'm not running around crazy like a chicken with my head chopped off trying to get people everywhere where they need to go, because we've actually been able to relax a little bit. So I'm going to start off with some recent acquisitions that I have gotten. 3 by the Sea had a shop update, a summer shop update, and Stitching with Yarn released a 4th of July yarn. And then I bought from another company that I heard of, from Kay the Crazy Sock Lady. If you don't watch her channel and you're into knitting, you really need to go check her out. She is amazing. I love her channel. It's all her fault. She's the one that got me started in all this sock knitting. I just stumbled across her channel one day and now it's my obsession. So I blame you, Kay. But let me get into the yarn. The new yarn that I got that was from her is from a company called Leap of Faith Yarns. And I love that they're very Bible based and obviously a Christian company, and I love to support small businesses, especially those that love Jesus. And so this is their Old Glory sock set. It's a very vintage vibe. I love this. And they had a project bag as well, but at the time I have enough project bags for now, and I've been sewing some of my own, so it didn't really make sense for me to buy one, even though I loved it. And I will try to put a picture of that up here. All right, wasn't that bag adorable? If I wasn't ears deep in bags, and I've sewed a couple, and I'll show you those in a minute, I would have totally bought that. So the other yarns that I got from 3 by the Sea is, they had this is called Surf's Up. Very, very cute. Very beachy and summery. Then they had, this is from their Barbie collection called Malibu Dreams. I love this. It is so bright. The camera is not doing it any justice right now. It is like super, super neon bright. And they also had a mini skein set, which is this one. And love it. Absolutely love it. So, and then I think there was a teal one in here as well, and I think I have it over here I skeined it up to go with another sock set, but absolutely love these together. Cannot wait to make something out of that, probably socks. And then they had Red, White, and Boom. And so they also had a Red, White, and Boom mini set. And I actually ordered 2 of these. I ordered this initially, and then thankfully when I went back, they had it in a DK weight. And it's the exact same colors, it's just in a DK weight. But I got this to go with, in my last episode, I showed you that sparkly yarn I'd got from Stitching with Yarn, and it was a DK weight. And I had those other 2 skeins of the red and the blue that I'd got from Stitching with Yarn they're about this color. They were red and blue, that I said I could hold double, and I decided, no, I don't want to do that. I want to save those for something else. And so I went back and I ordered this, and this is the fingering weight set. I went back and ordered this in the DK, and I have already skeined up these 3, and I'll show you that in a minute. I've skeined up that yarn to make some socks that I'm going to start hopefully cast on today, and hopefully I get them done by the time for Freedom Weekend. Not this weekend, next weekend we're going to Freedom Weekend Ridge Lifes, and I can't wait. But I also got some little trinkets. I got these little flip-flops, because we all know I'm obsessed with my flip-flops. So these are going to go as my beginning of sock round holder or stitch holders for my red, white, and blue socks I'm fixing to cast on today. And then I also got this little star right here. Love it. And these stitch markers, they're red, white, and blue as well. And then sometime back I had ordered this poppy, and I found it. And I also had last year ordered some needle stoppers that were the American flag when they did a collection. And so the kids are out in the living room playing, and I had bought some needle stoppers that were American flags, and I also bought a pair of scissors, and they're both out in the living room. So I'll put a picture of both of those up here, because I'm not interrupting those kids while they're playing and being behave. So they're playing together and nicely. So I know it's kind of a miracle, but I'm not going to interrupt. I'm not going to interrupt it. So that's all I have really bought. And so let me get into what I have been making. I think 2 or 3 craft episodes back, I talked about my long lost projects. Well, I was rearranging some things, and we had went to the storage unit and got some things, and I found my 2 oldest works in progress. I talked about the socks that I started making for myself when I was married to my ex-husband, my 3 older kids' dad. And it kind of morphed into me making them for Big D when we met. And I found part of one of the socks. This is as far as I ever got. I think it's ready for the heel turn. But as you can see, I don't know where the yarn is. I don't know where the pattern is. And I have no idea where the other sock is. But this is the first sock that I ever knit. And they were 2 at a time, toe up socks. And so, I mean, pretty good for my first time ever knitting socks. And so I found this sock, which will probably never ever get finished because I have no idea what this yarn was. It is a stretchy, it's very stretchy, and I bet it's one of those that you can't find anymore, that has the elastic in it, like I talked about in that episode. That other sock yarn I'd found that I had bought probably 12 or 13 years ago. I'm pretty sure it's that same brand. It's just a brown colorway. And so, but I mean, it has some major stretch to it. Yeah, there's the first thing I ever knit, ever. But yeah, so there's that. And I also talked about the baby blanket. The 13-year-old baby blanket or whatever, the 10-year-old baby blanket. Well, I found it, and here it is, and it's stained, and it's not nearly done, but yeah, this is the blanket. So I'm over halfway with it, but yes, it needs a bath. It was in the floor of the storage unit, had been dumped out of its zip bag, but yes, this is the baby blanket. So maybe if one of my kids have a grandson one day, they will be gifted with the millennia old baby blanket. I started this when my husband's best friend at work was expecting a baby, and he's a year older than Molly, and Molly just turned 13. And I obviously never got this done. This was going to be a Dougie blanket because the little baby's name is Dougie. The little boy, or the young man now, he's a sophomore in high school, I think. His name is Dougie. And so this was going to be Dougie's blanket, but I ended up crocheting something different, but a camouflage blanket. But this is what I've taken with me when we would go to court for custody and stuff. It was my nervous itch blanket because back then I wasn't knitting socks. Because I had lost this project and the sock bug had not bit yet. So I would knit dishcloths, and I would knit on that when we would go somewhere in the car. But so I found both of them. They were relatively close to each other. So I'm hoping as we clean out the storage unit, I will find more treasures. Maybe projects that are long lost and been forgotten. But all right, sorry about that. A kid came in and interrupted me. They wanted to know if they could go to the freezer and get some popsicles. And I said, yes, please go eat all the popsicles. So they're all gone, and I don't have to hear about y'all fighting over them anymore. So the other things that I am working on is I've just about almost finished the baby blanket for our preacher. Now their baby isn't due till the end of July, but I have 1 round of single crochet to go around the border, and I have like 2 sides left to do, but here is the baby blanket. I have not blocked it or anything, but this is the completed baby blanket, except for this 1 round of border, and this side is complete. So this is what it will be when it's completely done. So I'm super happy about that. I think it turned out super great. I love the way that it looks. It's so pretty. And so that leaves me to work on the little dress that I am working on, that I have not worked on at all yet. And but the yarn that I used, I guess I should tell you the yarn I used on the baby blanket in case you want to know. The main color of the blanket is, I love this yarn, and it is called Spun Sugar Stripe, and this is from Hobby Lobby. And then the pink and the purple are, I love this, oops, I just covered you up with some yarn, is I love this yarn metallic, and this one is called Lavender, and this one is called Pinky Toes. And I don't know if you can see the sparkle in that. I don't know if the light's catching that sparkle, but it's sparkly. It's got like, I don't know if you are going to be able to see that or not, but it's sparkly and super cute, super sweet. So I am working on the little dress, and I still haven't gotten much done on more than I had the last time on the dress. So here's the little dress. The top is done. I just have to finish the skirt. And so I'm using this Lions brand Kobo yarn, and this is pale pink, and then for the white I'm using, it's just called white. But so that's what I'm going to start crocheting on next after I get done, finish that blanket up. And I've been keeping it in this bag, and I sewed this bag the other day with some yarn I got. And now, I'm a horrible sewer, so please do not come at me for my sewing, because it's terrible, but it works for me. I used that new sewing machine that I got from the yard sale page, and it works really well. So this is just some green fabric that is actually, Big D had bought some pants from online for his Boy Scout pants, and I had them altered, and when they cut the leg off, they sent me the extra fabric. And so I've been using it here and there, and so it just went really well with this bag. So this is what I'm keeping my little dress project in, and then this is the interior. I put this little pocket in there, and so it's perfect for my little dress project. So I've just been shoving it in there, and I even have enough room for my 2 extra skeins of yarn. And so, yeah, I made this little bag, and then I made this bag that my big blanket had been in, and I really like this one. I love this fabric. And then the inside is the stars, and oh, let me turn you around. And then I put a pocket in this one too. I love these little pockets because you can just put so much stuff in them. But here's the little pocket. And my extra crochet hook was sticking up. But so yeah, this is, and then I made this one a drawstring bag, but it's really big, and it fits that whole blanket in it. And I hadn't made any this size, but I made this one specifically to put that big blanket in, because I didn't know if I was going to have it finished in time for Freedom Weekend, and I wanted to be festive. So I love this bag. And then the other project that I have that I'm going to cast on that I have not got to yet is those socks. And so here, they're coming unwound, but here are the DK weight skeins of the Red, White, and Boom with the sparkle. And it is in this bag that I sewed up a while back. And I may have showed this to y'all before, but Semper Fi, y'all. And so this also, it has a red, white, and blue in the center, and then it has the bottom as the pocket. So that's all I've been really working on. I haven't been working on a whole lot of stuff, everything I've bought. And so now let's get to the life stuff. So I got a lot of that baby blanket done when we were at scout camp. Me and the 3 older kids went to scout camp weekend before last, and I posted a video about that, so if you want to watch it, I will try to put a link up here for that. But we went to scout camp, and while we were at scout camp, my oldest son passed his swimming test. And if you know anything about Boy Scouts, that swimming test is super important for rank advancement and for merit badges. And he has some disabilities, and he started Scouts in 2018. That's when he started BSA Scouts or Boy Scouts. Now it's called Scouting America. But back then it was Boy Scouts. He passed his first swim test, or he attempted his first swim test at his first summer camp, at the same camp we went to this last time because it's his last summer camp. And he finally passed his BSA swim test. So I was super proud of him. And so since he did that, he made his life rank. And so the only rank he has left is Eagle Scout. So we have been working on finishing up those last 4, 5, 6 merit badges that he needs to finish, and researching Eagle Scout projects. He's been doing a ton of research on what kind of Eagle Scout projects, and he's reached out to a few people, and we got an answer back from one of them, the one that was his top prospect that he really wanted to do. And so he is working on that. He does require some assistance with his special needs and his disability. So I've been helping a little, but not a ton, because I want him to do this as much on his own as possible. I really try hard not to interfere and let them do as much as they can as a typical normal kid. You know, I mean, there are times when I have to step in and help, obviously, but for the most part, we don't treat our special needs kids any different than we treat our typical normal kids. And that goes for discipline, chores, expectations, everything. Just because your kid has a disability is not an excuse for you to pamper, cater, or raise a little a-hole, okay? Just because your kid's autistic does not give them an excuse to be a jerk. A lot of people I know that have disabled children use that, oh, they're disabled, as an excuse to let them get by with things, and that's not me, okay? Not me. I'm kind of a hard ass. But anyway, off of that rant. So we've been working on Eagle Scout applications, looking at projects, getting a proposal together to get it approved. We've been working on merit badges. And so part of working on those merit badges is my other 2 girls are also in Scouting America, and they're working on merit badges as well. And so some merit badges, like, you don't do them as a group, but they can be done at the same time. And so if he's going to work on them, it only makes sense for the girls to do it as well. So we only have to go through the miserable experience once instead of multiple times. But one of these things is really benefiting me this summer is the cooking merit badge, because in the cooking merit badge, they have to make a menu, make a budget, and then they have to actually cook those meals. And so I am loving this cooking merit badge because they are planning the menu and then making the budget, and then we're doing like a Walmart grocery order pickup for them to get the groceries, and then they're cooking. And so that gives Mama a little bit of a break in the evenings. I can just sit and knit and crochet while they're in there cooking. So y'all may see a couple of videos coming of the kids doing some cooking so we have proof that they actually did it, because I'm the girls' Scoutmaster and Big D is the Boy Scoutmaster, and so it may look a little suspicious if the Scoutmaster's kids are getting signed off on stuff with no proof. So we double make sure that we have picture and video evidence that they actually did the work, because we don't want someone to accuse us of cheating for our kids, because it's happened. There's a pretty local young man who got Eagle Scout. His daddy owns the charter. His daddy was a Scoutmaster, and he made Eagle Scout at like 12 and a half, which I don't know how that's possible. But I 100% know that they cheated. And we're not those people, because a Scout is trustworthy and a Scout is honest. I mean, obviously not those Scouts, but us. That's one of the major reasons why we kind of don't associate with that group any longer, any more than we have to. Anyway, gosh, I'm just on the soapboxes today, aren't I? So, yeah, y'all may see some cooking videos coming from the kids, because I'm loving that. I'm loving not having to cook. And they're cooking stuff that they like, so they will eat it. So I don't have to worry about, hey, is everyone going to eat this? Because sometimes I'll cook something if I try something new and they're like, ugh, not touching that with a 10-foot pole. And then I have a ton of leftovers and nobody ever eats them. So the other thing life-wise besides scouts is homesteady stuff. So it had rained and rained and continued to rain. It finally stopped raining this weekend for it to be 105 degrees. And so we have been doing small things around. The garden is growing. Not much of a change since my last garden video. I do have a bunch of zucchini coming on, but my yellow squash just, I have not seen anything out of them. And I think it's because I haven't seen any honeybees. I don't think we have any bees around to pollinate. So Big D's been talking about wanting to get into beekeeping. Lord help us. I'm deathly allergic to red wasp and bees. And so that's going to have to be his thing. The honeybees will have to be his thing because, yeah, not getting stung. I carry an EpiPen for that whole reason. So, other than that, we've been working on chicken pens. We did get some stuff moved around this weekend, and I did start to film that. But it was so hot during the day, Saturday, that we kind of waited too long into the evening, Saturday evening, to get started, and we didn't completely get it all finished. And then Sunday we had church, and again, it was super, super hot. And so, hopefully this coming up weekend we will get to finish that up, and next week the video will be about the chicken and the duck pen. So yeah, that's really all I have for y'all. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like, subscribe, and share. And if you don't mind, please run a playlist of ours. We are trying to get our watch hours up, but we are not doing the best at that. I think we have like 355 total watch hours, and you need 4,000 to become monetized. So we have our subs, we just don't have the watch hours. And so hopefully before long, Mother Nature cooperates. I know I've been saying that for every episode for how long, that summer is here. And so we can get some of these projects knocked out and our garden starts to grow, and I'll have a lot more content for y'all other than these boring crafting videos. But so we will see y'all on the next one. I hope y'all have a blessed day.